Hi, my name is Bob Schrader. I'm the Associate Faculty Instructor of Metalsmithing at Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne, Indiana, also known as IPFW. The exhibition we're talking about is Fred Fenster, Metalsmith. Fred was here to do a workshop at IPFW, and it was an incredible experience. Student, teacher, artist, mentor. One person can fulfill all of these roles for others as relationships grow, change, and evolve. It is interesting to look back and see how people cross and pass through our professional lives. It truly is a small world. I first met Fred Fenster during the fall of 1974 while a college sophomore at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. As an artist and teacher, Fred was amazing. I think it was in his classes that made it clear to me that metalsmithing was the route I too would take. Fenster was prolific and always busy. Some of the first pieces I remember him making in the university shop were copper cooking pots and a commissioned copper bathroom pedestal sink. Some of those pots, utilitarian and timeless in design, are in the exhibition here at IPFW. Also included are silver hollowware objects and many hollow form pieces in pewter. Fenster's attraction to pewter began in the late 1950s when he was a graduate student at Cranbrook Academy of Art in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. He observed other students working in metal in a way that reminded him of the ceramic process. He decided to learn all he could about this malleable metal for his thesis, which was more spontaneous and forgiving than silver, copper, or any other copper alloy. Treating pewter like clay, Fenster worked fast and hard, completing 24 works of hollowware and more than 40 pieces of jewelry for his thesis exhibition in only a 2-year period of time. Fenster has become the teacher that, as a student, he had hoped to find. Beginning his teaching career at UW-Madison in 1962, he has been a primary force in the wave of renewed interest in metalwork in recent times, especially in pewter. It's not improbable that every pewter worker around today in this country crossed paths with Fred at some point, whether at UW-Madison or at the Penland School of Crafts in North Carolina or at one of his many workshops across the country. We at IPFW have a special connection with Fenster. Les Moats, who was our chairman and taught metalsmithing at IPFW for many years, Les began to offer metalsmithing classes at Fort Wayne Art School in 1961. He set up a metalsmithing studio in an unused house on the school's property and began the first metalsmithing classes. In 1976, he was promoted to associate professor when the school became IPFW's Department of Fine Arts. During his 39-year tenure with the Fort Wayne Art School and Museum and subsequently IPFW, Moats taught a variety of subjects, but his passion was always for metalsmithing, which remained his major field of teaching and favorite medium for his own works. He had received his BFA in metalsmithing and a minor in sculpture from Cranbrook in 1959, and then stayed also to complete his MFA in metalsmithing in 1961 when he and Fenster were classmates. Fenster even went along with Moats when they returned together to Fort Wayne to deliver and install a commission by Richard Thomas to the Concordia Theological Seminary here in Fort Wayne. With this shared history in mind, the pewter smithing workshop and the exhibition of Fenster's work at the school where his colleague Les Moats began the metalsmithing program is a fitting tribute to the history they shared in this exciting field of teaching and art making. Dates of the exhibition have been February 4th through 29th, 2008. On the weekend of February 22nd through Monday the 25th, we held a workshop with Fred Fenster in the metalsmithing studio that Les Moats had created, and it was incredibly successful with 20 people attending, each making 2 to 3 objects. Students from our campus participated, as well as people from the community and metalsmiths from as far away as Indianapolis and Boston, Massachusetts. A sincere thank you is extended to Fred Fenster for lending his artworks and the works of other artists from his collection to make the exhibition and workshop possible. Special acknowledgement is due to the Department of Fine Arts faculty and to Dana Goodman, the Chair and Associate Professor of Sculpture, for support of the exhibition and workshop. Many thanks also go to all of the members of the IPFW College of Visual and Performing Arts Dean's Office staff for their continued assistance and support, especially including Susan Domer, Marketing and Public Relations Specialist, Barbara K. Romans, Business Manager, and Stephen T. Sarator, the Interim Dean and Professor of Theater. The IPFW Office of Publication staff was also extremely helpful. They created a poster for the exhibition that is just beautiful. Creative Director Leanne Powers' design of the exhibition's poster and the printed material are greatly appreciated. And I would also like to give credit to the many people who helped with proofreading, such as Eleanor Modi and Tony Olin, and other students such as Jason Johnson, colleagues such as Richard Nalipovich, Assistant Professor in Visual Communications and Design, and Benita Brewer, also Assistant Professor in Visual Communications and Design, for their assistance in handling the art, installing the exhibition, and help with this film.